I was like, all right, let's hop back on this kind of run for a little while. I do plan to revisit that, but next time I'll play it on the higher difficulty. Because it did feel like we were comfortably in a position that we could have just rode out winter without too much of a problem. Like, being in Louisville was more of the challenge than the winter was. Oh, I hate all of this. Alright, so this will be the place we put our stuff. And I am dumping a bunch of stuff here. And the reason I'm doing that is we're going to be bringing a bunch of stuff back with us. So I'm going to free up all the carry weight I can for the time being. Okay, I think that does for now. Well, the bowl too, because I don't have anything to put in the bowl. Yeah, so we got as much weight as I felt we could reasonably get off of us off. I hope they didn't hear me. It sounded like there's a whole horde in the front yard. Like, I want to fight the horde, I don't want them to smash the door down first. Oh, that's not a whole horde, it's just a couple. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey, you two? Hey, right behind you. There you go. I mean, to be fair, it would be a very valid strategy for zombies, because if a zombie is walking away from me and I'm trying to walk after them and hit them with the nightstick, I'm actually probably not going to do particularly well on it. Like, I'd probably want to walk ahead of them and turn around and try and hit them. Which is somewhat ironically the exact same way a zombie should go to try and catch me, is to try and get ahead of me slightly and then try and grab me from ahead. Versus behind, you know, I can just keep walking. So yeah, so basically what we're trying to do right now is we're just trying to grab our stuff back from the ice cream place and bring it up here. We're going to clear out zombies on the way back and forth. It'll help keep our place a little bit safer. But I shouldn't expect too much. We'll maybe run into a horde or two, but usually it'll probably be just a couple stragglers here and there. And for those who wanted fitness and strength to play more into your character, one pro tip. Strength actually does help knock down enemies when you're hitting them with stuff. So that's a good thing to know. You can also see it when you're actually just shoving zombies. If you take a character that's like no strength and you try and push zombies, you have a lot of trouble pushing them over. But if you take a character that's got like 9 strength, you'll just shove zombies over almost every time. With exceptions, of course. RNG is RNG, but you'll do way better at knocking down zombies. All this rain sucks. Gotcha. I do kind of find the playthroughs that people it's not like hard RP, but they have like a theme around their character. It can be very interesting. Like it's not a playthrough I would do, but I do remember someone was doing like an arsonist run that any place they looted they would burn down. Which to me I'm like, okay, so you're just gonna burn down the entire city. Yeah, like I was doing the whole friendship bracelets thing on Quincy Fu, the friendship killer. I found that gimmicky, and I had to like stop myself from trying to do that in this run because it'd be entirely too much of a chore. When you have respawns on, you don't feel guilty about it because like if you miss a whole bunch of bracelets, who cares? You'll just kill more zombies and find more later. But it would be a weird thing to do this to be like, who can collect the most friendship bracelets on no respawn, period. That said, we are wearing a friendship bracelet because, I mean, everyone needs a friend. I think the only thing that started the friend, like, I've had a number of runs where I will collect the friendship bracelets, but normally it's just you get like 5 or 6, it's not a big deal. Until we got to that university and like every third zombie had a friendship bracelet. It's like, Yeah, I had debated doing one where I would collect all the gold diamond rings, but I'm like, nah, that might actually upset someone just because, there are people who have gone through loss and everything, and that can be a reminder. It's perfectly innocent or anything. It's just like, yeah, no, that could mess with people. And I like the channel to be a chill place for people to, relax, especially if people are dealing with, like stress or anxiety or whatever. So the last thing I would do is prove to trigger it. The good news is there's a fire pit directly behind the house we went to, so I don't have to drag this stupid grill with us. Okay, that one I would be cool with. That's actually a pretty good idea. Just collect all gold rings. Nothing else, just gold rings. Now you gotta be copyright friendly, so you name yourself something like Sanic. Yeah, the blue dot is definitely going to books I've read. Because I read all 3 of those books and they all had blue dots. I don't think I care about... Yeah, I don't care about anything on the corner there. All that stuff I can just find. All of it you can be finding with foraging. I'll take an antidepressant right now, thank you. Okay, yeah, this will probably only be 2, maybe 3 runs. Yeah, let's not push ourselves to heavy load at all. Let's just go with what we got. Okay, zombie. What the hell, my dude? Like, the weirdest thing, like, I was ready in case there's a zombie outside, but for them to be facing the wrong way is like, what? What were you even doing there? Yeah, zombie's like, I like a friend. Can I be your friend? It's okay, I stand outside your window. Nah, but very fair, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, you don't want to subject people to stuff, like zombie violence or organ harvesting. Yeah, fair. Now, granted, I don't know many people in the real world who have been subjected to actual zombie violence or organ harvesting. Though I'm sure the second is a non-zero number. And if anyone does experience that, I am beyond sorry. Still, the good news is zombies are fictional. Even though the zombie apocalypse is totally inevitable, but still, at the current time, fictional. Nah, it was, the zombie was an HOA rep. They're telling me that my curtains were not up to, HOA standards. I mean, as far as they could tell, I just nailed some sheets on the wall, and that just does not comply. And then I need to be sure the colors were white, off-white, eggshell. Versus these are more of a burgundy. Or a beige. I don't know, I never looked at the curtains. They're presented as some type of off-white. Oh, yeah. Bring a flamingo home, they'll pick at your house. Yep, we have successfully gotten ourselves into the very first house in Ekron. So I'm working on moving some of our stuff up, clearing out zombies along the route there. Each time we go up there, we're going to do a lap around the house, kill any zombies we see. More than likely, we'll see probably a horde or two every time we get up there for a little while. But then the plan would be to keep killing the zombies around the house. As we do, keep extending the area, like the perimeter as it were. And as the perimeter begins to include other houses, then we, loot them, take their stuff. And occasionally, once we get like 3-4 houses up the road, where it becomes a little bit of a hike to get back to where we were, at that point we will move our stuff up to the next house until we're on the other side of town. So we're living a very nomadic life at the moment. But once we get to the gas station, that's the point we intend to put down some roots and actually make a proper base that we can return to between sorties. It's the reason I like to choose Ekron. Or I shouldn't say choose, I didn't get to choose. It was Pillow's random spawn mod, it dumped me here. But the reason why usually when I do this run, wherever I spawn, I usually like to try and come to the Ekron area. Because Ekron is nice and center for the whole left half of the map. So it's a great place to put down a permanent base to begin clearing out everything around the area. Because then, as I get through Riverside and occasionally need to drop back, get food, or, get some new weapons, or drop back a bunch of extra supplies, that kind of stuff, it's nice and center where it's never too far away. Realistically, what I'll do is I'll go Riverside, then Rosewood, then Midridge, then Muldrow, then West Point, and some point around the time of West Point, I will move the main base to the east end of West Point. Because at that point, I'm dealing with the east side of the map, and it doesn't matter where you're on the west side of the map, none of it's convenient for the east side of the map. Just because of that one bridge choke point at West Point. I also feel like when we get ready to attack Louisville itself, a good chance I might try and move to either the warehouse just south of Louisville or that neighborhood just southwest of Louisville. Just up the shore from it. That's a long time down the road, so I haven't really thought about it too much, but it'll be around there somewhere. Oh, I'm looking at my keyring. I was like, hey, thank you for the raid. Give me one moment, I'll give you a shout out. Josh of Sandwich coming in with the raid. Or sorry, Josh Sandwich. I shouldn't have said Josh of Sandwich. So you were playing some Project Zomboid. Excellent. Hopefully, the only deaths were the zombies. And if not, hopefully they were fun and educational deaths. So how was your stream? That tree right there, I have died on another character that was doing really good in run to that specific tree right there. It was a very upsetting death too, because it was one of the only times that it was the player, me the player, panicking completely that got me killed. So the power of antidepressants in this game, like, we were one block away from maximum depression. One antidepressant later, right as rain. It just takes a minute or two to kick in, and then you're good to go. Alright. Done some speedruns, and then went to Zomboid, got my first character to nearly 25 days. Survived. And just over 1,000 kills. I'm very happy with my progress. Excellent. That is nothing to be disappointed at all. That is a very solid run. Nearly 1 a.m. here, so you're going to call it? Excellent. Thank you again for the raid so much. And you have yourself a good sleep. Yeah. If only it was like that in the real world, where you could just, like, work at something, you get better at it, and then you are rewarded. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, real world. Oh, I didn't see where you guys came from, but you're gonna die. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Try to offer people a solid stream, and I'm glad that people seem to feel I am successful in that offering. Ah, gotcha. Well, I do appreciate you chilling here. But yeah, that tree, the way that got me killed, I'm gonna actually pause. So I had aggroed a horde over here. It was like pitch black at night, and so I'm being backed this way, you know, fighting the horde, and it's going well. It's like 20-something zombies. And, you know, I see the tree behind me and the fact that I can't see anything over here, and I'm like, oh crap, there could be a group of zombies we haven't cleared over here. Like, if I back in that tree and there's a zombie there, we're dead. And so I get to around here, and I hear the zombie coming from this way, and I was still backing up, and there's only like 2 zombies left in the horde I was fighting. And player absolute panicked, you know, realizing I confirmed. And rather than do anything intelligent, I kind of just stood there like panicked, like panic paralysis or whatever, and basically walked directly into the zombie in front of me, like not swinging a weapon, not pushing, not running, just walked up, gave them a big ol' hug, got bit, ended a run. That was Hazel Killian who died that way. It was a real bummer. But it was 100% player panic, and any way I would have played it differently would have been fine. If I had just literally run forward, we would have been fine. If I would have just kept fighting the zombies in front of me, there was only like 2 left and they were already injured, I probably would have just finished them off and been able to have turned around and dealt with the zombies behind me. It would have been fine. Frankly, I could have probably just run in the direction of the zombie behind me, shoved them out of the way, and probably have been fine. It was just the one play I did in the most, you know, in the moment of panic was like the only wrong answer. I could have run straight south, which would have jumped me over the fence, and I would have been fine. Oh, that drawer is only 13. Never mind. Everything out of this drawer. I was putting it on the drawer because it's like, okay, I can put it in the drawer. It'll be easy to grab and go. 13 is not enough space to work with. Are you 65? I don't remember what your capacity is. 26. Get out of here. You have to be very careful in this room because these windows are busted and that door is gone. So, you know. So this cabinet's where we're putting it all. Hey, Rocket on Rotor, how's it going? Need to put a carne or a cross there. A carn. I'm missing something. Oh, yes, I got you. Never mind. Yes. Brain fart, don't mind me. You know, I probably should do that. Once I clear the area, that'll be something we do, is we will go down and put a cross there. You survived another week? Excellent. Doing well here. Alright, so I've got water. I should bring some food with us for the next trip. Not a lot, because I am trying to physically bring stuff back. Grab a pile of roaches. We do want to make it a point to kill zombies we see in our immediate area each day, because otherwise we'll come back and have to fight our way into our own home. I need to eat because I'm about to take a strength penalty from not having enough food. Oh yeah. I just appreciate that once you get like your strength and long or blunt skills up enough, your short blunt, that you know, you hit zombies and like every other hit you're knocking them down. So it makes you have to back up so much less because you're just knocking so many down. Alright, eating our fresh roach. Didn't quite satiate us, so we're going to have half another roach. And tip for people new to the game, if you are using a knife, if I go for the execution, and instead I push them, I know I've aggroed another zombie nearby. Otherwise your character will stab. This one will execute them because I don't have another aggroed zombie. Well, that's not what you like to see. Yep, you can, it's not like a guaranteed thing. There is some RNG to it. But if you notice, and I actually think it goes in the tutorial for when you're sneaking up on zombies, but it also applies when you're going for the execution move, is your character will raise the hand that doesn't have the knife in it. And that means they're in range to do the stabber or pushover. And so you basically stop moving, and then there's a good chance your character will stab. It's not an always thing, though. But yeah, you probably noticed just for a second there my character raised their hand, so I delayed my next hit till they did that. You just don't want to get too greedy for those that you're waiting too long. Like, wait a fraction of a second, go for the stab. If it ends up not being an execute, who cares? You're at least alive. Hey, don't break that. I might actually use that someday. Alright, so we're aggroed. Yep, there you are. Oh yeah, it's all good. It's funny, like one of the things I've joked about is you'll go on Red and they'll be like, short blades are impossible to use, like they're just, you know, it's basically like killing yourself. You just can't use them. It's like, no, short blades are fine, man. They take a little figuring out, but they're in a good spot. Because like you notice, I've been pretty close to moderately exerted this whole time, and I just went through half a horde there, and we're still good in stamina. And I'm only fitness 3, so short blades have their sweet spot. Versus we're right about to hit exerted, probably 2 to 3 more swings. Alright. I overestimated stamina. 4 or 5. Okay, 5 swings is what it actually was to get to moderately exerted. But that's one reason I always have some short blades on me. They're just, when you're getting close to that exertion and you don't want to push over it, break out your short blades. There's a few exceptions, like the meat cleaver uses a decent amount of stamina, but most short blades are pretty negligible in their stam use. Just finished my roach real fast. Yep, so we're in the process from moving from the ice cream parlor to the south of Ekron into Ekron. Unfortunately, I don't have a car and I have just a duffel bag, so it's not the most efficient. I did see the pack of zombies up there. I'm choosing to ignore them for the moment. I do have a current priority and everything. So there's that. I do wonder if I can unsquish... Like, my OBS, after we had the video issue earlier, it squished the game footage to be half of my preview. And I wonder if I can make that fix. I'll probably mess with that when we go to sleep. You can get to the point that your stamina can regenerate faster than the short blade uses. You will find as your nimble stat gets better, you can actually get to the point that you reliably land a hit every single chance it comes up, and then you'll get a tiny bit ahead. But in practice, you know, you're going like stab, step, stab, step, stab, step, step, and those little little gaps in there is enough that you recover your stamina. With exception, as you get closer to sleepy, your stamina regeneration gets gradually penalized. So once you get fairly close to sleepy, you will start exhausting. You kind of hit more of a neutral with the short blade than really exhausting. But when you're fresh in the day, you can absolutely like use a crowbar till you're getting low in stamina, switch to your short blade, let yourself recover stamina while fighting, switch back to your crowbar, that kind of thing. Which is the reason I usually try to juggle more than one type of weapon. It's also one of the reasons I actually recommend people not go out of their way to specialize in one weapon type. Like, there's definitely an advantage to doing that because, you know, you level it faster. But there is benefits to different weapon types, so it's good to mix and match based on situation. Not that you need to do them all. But like go, okay, I'm going to do short blunt and short blade, or long blunt and short blade, or spears and literally anything that isn't spears when it breaks. Yep. And it's just short blades for the most part are all light. Again, the exception being the meat cleaver. Yep. So it's one of the few weapons that's a very fast speed, well, it's a fairly fast speed weapon that, you know, doesn't really burn stamina. Because there's a lot of good, fairly fast weapons, but they also just wreck your stamina. Like going absolutely full bore with example for the nightstick here, I can burn through stamina pretty well. Or if you use something like a metal pipe, you can burn through stamina really aggressively. Oh yeah, the garden fork. There are people who lovingly call the garden fork the god fork. Because if you get like 1 or 2 points in spear, you just start obliterating zombies with it. Because it's like spears do really good damage, really good range, really fast. It's just their durability is absolute garbage, with the exception of the garden fork. Its durability isn't amazing, it's pretty middling. But for the damage and the speed you can dish it out, it is a menace. Like, at this point, if this character gets a hold of a garden fork, I only have spears of 1. I could still probably take out a good 4 or 5 hordes with it before, you know, it'd probably break. With my 4 maintenance. And we're talking hordes of like 12 plus zombies, 12 to 18 zombies. And that's not too shabby. And when I say take them out, I mean very quickly take them out. Not katana fast. Katana fast is cartoonishly fast and a good time. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Like, I jokingly say, once you get a katana and, like, long blade of 2, you don't fight zombies so much as you delete them. Because you just one-shot everything. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would end a run again just to go ham with the katana. Oh, katana is, like, such a fun time. I know I don't need to kill this group, but I might go a little bit overburned this time when I grab stuff. Because I'm greedy, and I don't want to do this lap again and again. And I'd rather not have them, you know, show up on my lap while I'm carrying too much. Then I gotta go throw the duffel bag in the ground. It's a pitch black duffel bag, so it's really hard to see when you throw it on the ground most of the time. Yeah, everyone's joking about that. That's how our Alright, we've got a meta event. There's not many zombies here, but still keep a close eye out. Oh, come on. No execution? Fine. I don't care. Alright, looks like zombies are going southeast, so this is the way you gotta worry about zombies coming from. I don't seeing any, so okay. But yeah, so I got a hold of a katana on a cryogenic winter run that we were... Were we 4 months in? Well, 3 months in? We weren't quite to winter, but we were well into fall. Oh, I should fill up our water. And I got a hold of a katana and just started driving down the road by the Louisville University, blasting the horn, and just absolutely obliterating zombies. But, you know, I was being incredibly reckless. I kept calling myself out as being incredibly reckless. I was like, this is going to get us killed. But I was just having a grand old time. Eventually went for a swing I shouldn't have gone for. Zombie was kind of catty-corner to me, not quite next to me, not quite in front of me, but was just enough they managed to get a hold of me, get a bite on my arm. Very first injury that character had taken from... No, was that the first injury? Yeah, I think it was the very first injury that our character had taken from a zombie that run, and it was a bite. Because technically it qualified as a back hit. I'm going to take the broken machete because I haven't repaired it yet. Just take it all. The downside is, even though I managed to fit that all in our inventory, we're still going to have to do one more lap. And the reason for that is I got all those cooking pots on. I might actually dump out these water bottles to make them lighter, to spare us a lap. I need to eat, so where's my roach? Excellent. Perfect. Because we'll restock them water over there, because these are really heavy when they're full of water. As one anticipates, water's kind of heavy. Okay, that takes us down to heavy load, and I think we're going to deal with that. And we're going to keep my inventory on the duffel bag. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I can easily just dump the duffel bag. Don't say. I'm missing context for don't say. But yeah, so at this point we've taken everything from the ice cream shop, so it's just a matter of getting back to Ekron, dropping our stuff off, and we live in Ekron now. Oh yeah, water is heavy. Yes. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake where I went to fill up my water bottle when you're, you know, not able to carry a whole lot of stuff. Filled it up using the, like a big cooking pot full of water. Forgot to put the water back. And then you go outside like, why am I ridiculously overburdened? Oh, right. I'm carrying a giant cooking pot of water in my person. Yep. Nah, I gotcha. I just missed the context it was referring to the water as heavy. So I was like, wait, what? Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why I like having extra bags and all that. So taking a bag off your back isn't too bad. But if I have a bag in my secondary hand, you can drop it instantly. And that's one of the dangers. Like you see right now, I've got all this stuff in my inventory. If that stuff is too heavy, which it shouldn't be, I can't drop it very quickly. Versus this, drag drop, it's on the ground. And so that's good when you're pushing either you have to be overburned for some reason, or you're like me and you're not having to, but you're also impatient, so you're going to be. It's great to have a second bag that just drop on the ground real fast that you can turn around and retrieve after a fight. Like, you'll find when I'm chopping down trees to do, like, base building and carpentry, I really like to have two large bags, one for my back and one for my hand, that I'll put all of the planks in the secondary one. That way, if we do bump into a zombie, I can drop it. Knowing I'll probably still be heavily exerted, but at least I won't be exerted and at extreme heavy load. Because that's how you die. You go up to a zombie and you kind of just paw at them, and then just get overwhelmed instantly. Now what I'd really love is to get some large bags. But realistically, that doesn't happen unless we get a car, and also I'm probably not going to go drive a car around until I can get gas secured. And while we know where a generator is, we'll have to drive to get it, but I don't have the manual, nor can I reasonably get to the gas station to actually plop it down and do anything. We'll wait till we get here. It's like, oh, I should listen to the weather. I'm like, that's probably going to put us at very heavy load if I take that radio out of our pocket. Nice. I've actually had pretty good luck with finding trailers in Ekron. I've found them, I think, the most often on the road that goes to the church, kind of across from the tool store. I found them there before. Usually attached to a wreck. Alright, so we have a fight. So we just drop our backpack, and we're good to fight. Oh yeah, no, I always will take the trailer, like, in single player, I should say. I will always try and get my hands on a trailer in general. I don't like taking the trailer through hostile areas, because the zombies can catch on the trailer and get you killed. But for moving stuff around, or for loot runs and all that, having, you know... Oh, come on, you... Having an extra, like, 100 plus storage, you know, all day long. Yeah, I find to locate trailers, usually the best way to do is just drive around a whole bunch. That ultimately what it boils down to. Check places like, not the drive-in movie itself, but the area around the drive-in movie. Check Ekron. I've had pretty good luck at, not full-on rural areas, but kind of. Did the beta blockers seriously push this into very heavy load? That's annoying. That's okay. We're gonna pout, and we're gonna eat our roach. I was really hoping eating the roach would have pushed us enough that we could have fit those in, but that's okay. Hey, Appalachian Connection, how's it going? We're losing a lot of water this way, but I can't run around with this much weight. My wife was like, "Don't about the water, you need the water." It's like, but I need to be able to walk without being overburdened. It's a vicious, vicious decision. Oh, drowsy, that's not good. We're fine. I'm gonna try and circumvent them as best I can. We seem pretty sad about all the roaches we've been eating. I was going to circumvent them, but this is a much smaller group than the other group, so we're going to fight this group. And they're doing a lot less damage because they're both exerted and tired. So, or drowsy, sorry. So we're taking a very severe damage penalty here. Because at this point, these zombies should be taking 3 to 4 hits with a hunting knife to kill. And like pretty much never more unless we got something wrong with us. Alright, we'll kill these 2 more, and hopefully we don't have a whole bunch in our yard or anything, because that would be inconvenient and is exactly the kind of crap that runs in, gets you in trouble in Project Zomboid. Yeah. When you're all exerted, it's like you've just absolutely beaten the living daylights out of zombie. It's so good. It's like, just end it. He's already dead. I'm surprised we're heavy load. I figured with the spear we're going to be at very heavy load again, but nope. We're alright. So I'll offload a bunch of this. We do want to get the cooking pot and saucepans outside right away in hopes that we get some kind of rain. Because I did get rid of a lot of water on the way here to make it so I could do it in one trip. Like I said, realistically... you all suck back here. Realistically, this should have been 2 trips. I'm going to drop all of this stuff over here in the front yard. I want it in the backyard, but right now I don't want to deal with those zombies. That sounds like it's inside the house. Guess we are fighting them. Oh, that is a full-on horde? Okay. Fine. Don't want it, but don't you beat on that window. The good news is the spear can one-shot even when exhausted. Did I mention spears are good? The durability's crap, but the spear itself is good. Alright, don't hit the tent. I may want to sleep in it someday. Not here, but when I'm, like, doing far off things. Okay. I panicked there for a moment because I keep hearing stories that that animation can get you killed. And my assumption is if those stories are true, which I'm not, like, I don't have a reason not to believe them, that it's because, like, a penalty for the, got Radmant in here? Not that I'm aware of. If he's lurking, I'm not going to look it up. Like, you know, I will respect people's desire to lurk and be unknown. But yeah, so my concern is that if that is a thing, it's when you have animation speed penalties, like being sleepy and exerted and all that. Would be my guess. That said, it's never happened to me personally, but that's usually because I don't go. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. There were zombies inside the house. Because that was the reason I fought the group. Was like, I'm pretty sure I hear zombies inside. Which tells me the horde is split between inside and outside the house. Oh, right, I covered that window. Bad. Now the animation, like, when I first started doing it, it's like, I have been very focused, like, this animation is sketch as hell. Alright, so let's take these to the backyard, because I want them back there. That way I don't have to exit both sides of my house just to boil some water. Let's put it all back here. When we need to boil water, we boil water. And every bit of the looting is so slow because we're severely depressed. I didn't know either, and that's the thing. Like I've had people swear up and down, it's like, oh no, you can totally die that, but then it's like I've also not had anyone say, oh no, I have died to it. So it's one of those things that I take kind of in the same area as like people who claimed that being bitten wasn't 100%. There was a thing going for the longest time that being bitten was like a 99.99% chance of zombie infection, but there's a slight chance you live. That's nothing. It's in the code itself. There's not even the infected, non-infected. Has been bitten is a boolean that says yes, no. and you get the zombie symptoms and die from it if it's yes. Like, being bitten is death. There is no... You can survive... Like, unless you mod. But the moment you mod, everything that comes with statements about the game goes out the window because you're modding. Which is fine. It just means no one knows, like, what your situation is. Okay, so food. What am I actually bringing with us? I say we keep leaning in on the stuff that makes us sad. We grab some dog food, and we grab some crickets. And a container of antidepressants. And a can opener. I have a hammer, 2 knives, grab a meat cleaver. I got stuff here. I think that'll do for now. But yeah, so it's one of those things, it's like, I've never seen or actually had someone provide me evidence that, you know, it can kill you. It's been, what I'll say is hearsay in that they've said it can. And I don't have a reason to not believe them. At the same time, like, but I do it all the time. And I've never so much as gotten an injury doing it. Like, period.